Okay, can you guys see my screen? Okay, Abdullah, you can go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the MUN Impact Global Summit. Ameena and I are excited to present to you our workshop, Bridging the Gap, Setting Your MUN Conference Apart. Please be reminded to have your cameras and microphones off during this session, and we will be having a Q&A session at the end of our workshop, so please feel free to put any questions you have in the chat box below.
Before we begin, we'd like to introduce ourselves. I'm Ameena. I'm a 19-year-old college student from Egypt studying in Cairo. I have 6 years of MUN experience, and the most notable of this experience is my role as Secretary General of Haya International Academy MUN here in Cairo. And currently I serve as Deputy Secretary General for MUN at Home at MUN Impact.
I'm Abdullah Shamsi. I'm a 17-year-old Egyptian rising senior. I also have 6 years of MUN experience, and I currently serve as the Deputy Secretary General for my school's conference, CSMUN, and I work alongside Ameena at MUN at Home as the Undersecretary General.
So first of all, what is the purpose of this workshop? And I want to highlight that this is a workshop. We're trying to teach you something about organizing your own MUN and organizing a unique MUN. So why are we doing this? Recently, there's been a lot of MUN conferences coming up, and oftentimes we've noticed that these conferences are simply generic. It's just some debate and maybe an outing afterwards, nothing too special. And not only does that make it difficult for these conferences to survive, but it also limits the impact that MUN can have and the value that these conferences can offer, be that through impact or entertainment. And we all know that MUN is so powerful, and we want to be able to maximize the positive effects of MUN in our communities. So what we want to help you do is to elevate existing conferences and create unprecedented MUN experiences. And what we'll be telling you are just some principles that can be applicable outside of MUN, as well as within any MUN conference that you organize.
The slides that you're going to see are basically just a checklist and have some steps that you can take. However, we do actually give practical examples from our own experiences in the speeches that we give. So we highly encourage that you take notes so you can point down important things that we say or important things that you hear. So basically, we feel the need to tell you this because given our experience in actually organizing a conference, so Ameena and I are organizing the LEGITIMACY International Model United Nations. And just to give a backstory about this conference is that around a year and a half ago, we had this idea of exploiting the gap in the Egyptian market, which lacks a unique conference, a unique and diverse conference that really puts all the strength of MUN programs in Egypt together. So we wanted to incorporate our own innovative spirit and bring this conference, MUN, to life.
And as Abdullah said, we felt that we had something to offer. We wanted to create something unique. And so what we did is we made use of our network and our experience to establish from point zero a unique, fully SDG-oriented beach conference in a place called El Guna here in Egypt. And we just wanted to change the game, change what's happening in the MUN landscape in Egypt.
And unfortunately, we had a setback due to the coronavirus outbreak. The conference was supposed to take place in April, but we postponed it to next March. However, we still went through the entire process and all the logistics of running the conference, so we can speak to you from our experience. We've divided the process of taking your conference to the next level to 3 main aspects: expertise, identity, and authenticity.
So first we start off with expertise. And what we mean by expertise is the expertise of your team, whether that's your leadership team, your chairs and student officers, or your organizing committee. And essentially, these are the people that bring your conference to life. So we want to make sure that you establish a strong foundation with your team. And obviously this starts with yourself. If you want to create your own conference or elevate all of your conference experiences, then the starting point is very simple. You just have to do MUN. And why that's important is that this enables you to know your market. You can't start without an understanding of the existing MUN landscape, its strengths and its shortcomings, and this will enable you to identify where your conference is standing or will stand in this market. The second point is that will enable you to understand how MUN works. And this is just a very trivial and obvious idea that you can create an MUN conference without knowing how MUN works, the rules of procedure, how they usually goes. And finally, and most importantly, this will enable you to build your network. Your partners, the chairs that are going to come to your conference, the delegates that will attend your conference, the schools, the directors that are going to bring their students to your conference. These are the people you will meet at any MUN conference you attend. And so it is essential if you want to have a strong conference with a high number of attendees, then you really need to expand your MUN network by simply going to more conferences. And for me, that's how I got to know Abdullah in the first place. Abdullah and I, we met at a couple of conferences, and eventually we decided to work together to create what we now call MUN. And as we said, getting started is that simple. It's just you decide to go as a delegate, or as a chair to other conferences that already exist.
So after you gain the experience of going to MUN conferences and have the expertise, now it's time to actually recruit your team, and this can range from the chairs, so the student officers, members of the organizing committee, and also press for coverage of the conference. And so you need to have a tailored recruitment process. And this means finding your balance between seriousness and approachability. But obviously, each conference has its own way of conducting the process. So there isn't a really right or wrong process, but you just need to find that balance. And for MUN, we conducted conferences on the phone. However, we realized that it would actually be better to do it face-to-face or through a video interview, because that really creates that personalized interaction and that connection between your applicants. So you really know who you're talking to and whether or not you want them to be part of the team. And you really want people to be part of your team that are both experienced and committed to the cause, because these are the people that are going to represent your conference and that are going to really set the tone for years to come. And especially when starting a new conference, it's extremely significant to prioritize a quality team over a large team. So even if it's just a small number of people, that's how you start your conference, because it needs to be people that you trust, because that's how you take your conference forward. So just remember that in the end, in terms of the recruitment process, choose a team that you can trust.
And obviously, it's not enough to just bring a group of people together and say, okay, let's have a conference. You have to develop your team and establish some consistency and unity within that team. And what we first recommend, myself and Abdullah, this might not be the strategy for everyone, but what we realized works for us is to start by establishing high expectations. If you make people feel like this is a trivial responsibility that they can do on the side, then it's very likely that they're going to neglect it and not give it their all. And the same high expectations that you set for your team, you should set for yourself. If your team sees you putting in 110% and producing a really good output, they're going to want to do the same. And secondly, you want to identify your areas for growth. And for MUN, for example, we found that our team, they came from a lot of diverse schools. They didn't really know each other. So there wasn't this sense of community that we wanted with our team. So we decided, okay, this is something we're going to actively focus on. That we're going to try to establish the sense of community amongst our student officers, our press members, our organizing committee. And how you develop your areas for growth is through training. And training is done for two reasons. It establishes the sense of community that we're referring to. If you bring people together through training, they're bound to interact with one another and really get to know each other. And second point is that you want consistency within your team. Consistency when it comes to the application of the rules of procedure, the kinds of issue reports that you want, and the kind of delegate interaction that you want. If you want, for example, your student officers to provide a personalized experience, to show empathy and support for your delegates, that's not a personality aspect, that's all within your control. If you want your team to act and behave in a certain way, then it is within your control. It's all about just finding the strategic method that will work with your team, considering how diverse these kinds of things can be. So just once again, tailor your process to your situation.
So now we want you to actually practice some of the points that we've said and network with your fellow participants. So we're actually going to be putting you guys into breakouts around 10 people per breakout, and we want you to discuss your MUN experience, find common interests, and really and really get to the and really delve deep into networking. So so Ameena is going to assign you into breakouts, and we'll leave you for 3 to 4 minutes, and then have you return back to the main room.
So you guys should have your should be assigned the breakout room now. So just go ahead and yeah, just get to know each other, network.
Ameena, can you fix the presentation? There's like a white. Yeah.
Can you see it now?
No,
Is
it's
it
good
good?
now. For all the participants that haven't joined
Sorry?
into breakout rooms, for all participants who haven't joined breakout rooms, please do so now. And if you're having trouble joining a breakout room, please let either me or Ameena know.
There should be a join breakout rooms button at the bottom of your screen, which you can click on to join the breakout room you've been assigned.
Should we give them another 2 minutes?
You want to go, can you go into any of the rooms and see what's happening and message me?
Sure.
Hi, Aisha E-guest. How are you doing?
Hello.
Ameena, extend it for a minute more. So just don't send them all back at once.
I can.
That's fine. So yeah, I went into 2 breakout rooms, one with Jaydeep and one with Marwan. Seems to be going well. Really emphasize the point of being uncomfortable.
Okay. Okay, so you guys are coming back now. Let's just give it 10 more seconds.
Ameena, we were bonding. You broke us away. What is this?
It's okay. You'll go back there in a bit. It's fine. Okay, so I think everyone's back now. Okay, so that might have been awkward or uncomfortable at first. There might have been some silences at the beginning, and that's completely natural when it comes to talking to people you don't know. But this is an essential skill when it comes to organizing an event like an MUN conference. You have to be able to talk to people whom you've never met in your entire life, people who might not even want to talk to you at all. So yeah, we hope we wanted to emphasize the importance of networking and how you can get started with it. So yeah, on to the remaining aspects of this presentation. Over to you, Abdullah.
So the next aspect is identity, and identity goes hand in hand with the expertise of your team. And although we have expertise and then identity, running an MUN conference isn't a linear process, meaning that you don't really have to follow a specific and intricate process. It's really based on your team and how you organize it yourself and how you feel the need to organize it. But identity is basically your conceptualization of the conference. So determining your goals, increasing your reputability, and really designing your brand.
And on a personal level, your identity is what makes you unique. And the same applies to your conference. Your conference's identity is what makes it unique. And in business terms, this unique aspect is your differentiator. So in order to have an established identity, which will be noticeable and memorable to whoever interacts with your conference, whether it's a delegate, a director, or a chair, is if you are able to highlight your differentiator and really adopt that as your identity. And your differentiator is basically the distinct experience that you want to offer that's different from all the other conferences in your area. And how you highlight that is by establishing a strong brand. And to us, your brand is made up of two aspects: your philosophy, what dictates the actions that you take as a conference, and there's the visual aspects such as your logo, the design of your merchandise, etc.
So one aspect of the philosophy that you really need to determine, and this should be one of the first steps, is your mission. So just to give you an example, MUN's mission is that we strive to empower the youth of today by allowing them a platform for collaborative, solution-oriented debate, addressing the world's most pressing issues and providing them with the tools and worldview that enable them to lead tomorrow's world with passion and integrity. And while that may seem like a lot of words, I'll just break it down to you in terms of the bolded words, which those are the main part of the mission. So empowering the youth means that MUN is led by youth for the youth. So really emphasize this current generation and having them lead tomorrow's world. We also want debate to be solution oriented. So that means choosing meaningful topics, meaningful committees that a consensus can be achieved. And we want to provide participants with the opportunity to really be themselves and give them a platform to speak and give them the tools necessary to thrive and to also represent themselves with passion and integrity and not be afraid to take risks and step out of their comfort zone.
So aside from our philosophy as a conference, another part of our identity is our legitimacy. Our reputability as a conference is a significant part of our identity. And how you establish this kind of legitimacy, there's three ways to do this. It's not necessary to have all three of these aspects, but they definitely do elevate your conference. So first, you should obtain partners for support. And partners can be in the form of a school, a teacher in your school, an organization that's backing you up, speakers that have decided to come speak at your conference. It could be an MUN Impact partnership. And what these do is, and by publicizing the fact that you have these partners, it just shows people that these organizations or individuals have put their trust in you. And so other delegates and other schools should put their trust in you as well. So really publicize the kind of partners that you have. And in general, they're going to back you up, whether it's with your ideas or organization, etc. And second, there comes sponsors. Now, sponsors will help you secure the funding that will help you bring the conference of your dreams to life. You don't necessarily need sponsors. If you don't have sponsors, it's not detrimental, but it will definitely help you elevate your conference, offer better services. And if you are able to offer a stronger, more elaborate conference, that definitely makes your conference appear more reputable and will definitely make it more sustainable. Now, when it comes to recruiting these kinds of partners or sponsors or acquiring them, just literally exhaust every possible channel. Ask your parents, ask your friends, make phone calls, find an organization's email or a person's email and just shoot them a random email. That's what happened to me and Abdullah, for example. When we wanted to create the conference in Al-Guna, we literally found the CEO of Al-Guna's email. We sent him an email, and by surprise, for absolutely no reason, this guy replied to us, which really accelerated our process greatly. So just shoot for the stars and you'd be surprised what actually ends up happening. And finally, you should design pristine merchandising and materials. So whether it's the name tags, the notebooks, the banners, if your merchandising looks professional and clean, this will help the image of your conference, and your conference's image is not something that should be neglected, but you should actually put a lot of effort into this.
So along with the legitimacy aspect of the conference, the atmosphere is also vital. And this is not just the atmosphere in terms of the organization level, but the atmosphere in terms of the delegate experience. So first of all, venue location is really important. And in some cases, the venue might not be in your control in terms of you're just hosting it at your school, but there's ways that you can really make the venue come to life in terms of the design of the venue and also the choice of the rooms, because really the room setup dictates the flow of debate. And you can have, for example, a theater style which is more professional, where the chairs and desks are more farther apart, or as opposed to the classroom style, which is more personal and interactive. But there really isn't a right or wrong way to set up the rooms. It's based on your conference's philosophy and identity. Also, something that is often overlooked, or that something just simple that people really need to take note of, is the food, because the food is reflective of your brand. For example, a takeout is more casual. So if you bring takeout to your conference, that implies a more casual conference, whereas a dinner or bringing vendors in, that's a more formal conference. And in my experience, just in lunchtime, if I just have something delicious like a juicy burger that I eat, and then I go into the committee room, and whether I'm a chair or a delegate, I feel rejuvenated. I feel really pumped up to lead and to debate. So just remember that, in essence, good food equals happy people. So just take note of these really small details and create this unique energy for your delegates to be able to maximize their experience in the conference.
And next we come to the visual aspects of your brand. And here we're going to take the example of MUN's logo. So here we have the unique and complementary blues of the logo, which are reflective of the sea, because our conference is taking place by the beach. We have the star, which is the Laguna logo, and the olive branch. Putting all these together, this is just saying, okay, we're holding an MUN conference by the beach in Laguna. So we consider a logo to be a true embodiment of our conference, and we hope you guys can do the same with your own logos and branding. It's essential that you make your brand memorable, representative of your conference and of your differentiators, and make it something that really stands out. You don't want it to be something that's too generic. You want it to be memorable and noticeable. And whatever you create, you really have to put it out there. Let it be known that this is the symbol of your conference. Put it on your website, your social media, put it on all your videos, put it on banners. Just really, this is a symbol of your conference. And once you get inside people's heads, that's when you know that you're really doing something.
Another unique branding example comes from MUN, the Brazil Model United Nations Conference, where in their website, as you can see, they have clearly publicized their differentiator as being Sauípe, which is their location being by the beach. So that's a town in Brazil. And these days, there are so many MUNs coming up, or current MUNs. So you really need to let people know what you're doing differently and why your conference is one to be reckoned with, and really your main selling points for the conference.
Okay, so next we have another quick activity. We're going to send you guys back into your breakout rooms. So what this activity will entail, the goal of this activity is for you to brand a conference given a differentiator, where you're going to have to determine the slogan, the colors of the brand, and the symbols of your brand. Here we have 4 potential differentiators for a conference. We're going to assign you, according to the number of your breakout room, please choose the number of, identify the number of the differentiator you'll be following. And then we have a Google form that we want you guys to fill out. We want each team to fill out. So we want someone from each team to share their screen, show the form, and you guys just brainstorm together the color, slogan, and symbols. So I'm going to open the breakout rooms now. And Abdullah, if you can quickly send the link to the form in the chat. Have you sent it?
Yes.
Okay, let me reopen these, and just be sure to follow the number of your breakout room. Thank you. And have someone share their screen. Bye.
And this will be for around 7 to 8 minutes. So yeah. How are we doing on time?
We're at 25 minutes.
No, we have time. We have time. Or like authenticity 10 minutes. Or no, 7 minutes with the video.
Yeah.
I'll go to the breakout rooms.
Okay. Asha, do you want to go into a breakout and see what's happening? No? Okay. How's it going, Abdullah?
Yeah, so all breakout rooms are going well. Everyone is working on the form.
Do you want to be host for a second while I go around?
Sure.
So make me co-host and assign me to a room.
How do I assign you to a room?
I should be unassigned at the top.
Hmm?
Can you see the breakout rooms page?
Breakout rooms?
Can you see
Yeah.
that? Okay.
Why are all of you back?
We finished
We
early.
finished.
You all finished.
Yeah.
Well, this is a dream team.
It was supposed to be 7 to 8 minutes.
We
Well,
have fast lines.
we're creative.
How about you guys tell me what your differentiator was and what you came up with?
Okay, does anyone want to explain to him what our colors were? Because I kind of forgot. Okay,
Sure,
so
yeah.
Abdullah, can you send a message? Okay, can you make me host again?
Yeah. Okay, so let me know what you guys came up with.
Okay, Ariana's gonna explain to you the colors.
Yeah, so for our conference, we were assigned the beach conference, and we decided that the colors that we thought would suit our theme nicely would be like tan, coral, baby blue, a bit of a darker blue to fit with the different shades that the water can sometimes portray, and a gray too, because our symbol was going to be a dolphin.
What's the
And
slogan?
we had two slogans. We had sand, sun, and
We had
change
sand, sun, and change, and fun in the sun, change in the world.
in the world.
So I
Guys,
think you guys
Abdullah
are
and I
ready.
were like on the same
Yeah.
wavelength. We don't even need to coordinate to say the same words.
You guys are ready to create your conference, beach conference.
MUN has some competition.
What are the settings like necessary for the breakout rooms? Is that how you generally conduct the online MUNs?
Sorry?
Yeah, I'm just curious on how you conduct the online MUNs because I'm participating in my first one next month.
We can talk about that at the end, but our conference is not an online one. But we can discuss that at the end. We can talk about MUN Impact and MUN at Home at the end. Okay, let's continue with our presentation. Okay, so we hope you guys found that useful. Abdullah, do you want to say something about this?
So it's really, although it's something often overlooked, just the branding in terms of something simple as the colors and slogan and symbols. But I hope that this activity made you realize really the significance of this branding, because it's something that's consistent throughout the years. So even though, like for example, the theme isn't consistent, the branding, at least for the first few years, is consistent. So something that you really should pay attention to.
So next we move on to authenticity, and to us authenticity is really your playground, because there are endless ways to create an authentic experience at your conference, and to us an authentic experience is one that is truly impactful, and because at the end of the day that's what MUN is all about. It's about creating a real world impact. So you really have to integrate some aspects into your conference that are going to last beyond the weekend or week of your conference. And to us at MUN, the main aspect, the main philosophy behind our authenticity is the idea that we want to bridge the gap between simulation and reality. We want to maintain the model aspect of Model UN through simulation. We also want to integrate aspects that make our implementing solutions on ground. We want to make our debates grounded in realistic issues, and that's really what we think where MUN should stand. It should stand as a bridge between the simulation aspect and the reality aspect.
So bridging the gap really starts with your committees and topics, because they are at the heart of your conference, and it is where the delegates spend most of the time. So in terms of committees, really you don't have to conform to the general norms of the traditional style of committees, which are the general assemblies. You can choose to go through your own route. For example, in MUN, we actually have a committee that we take the issue that's being debated, and in collaboration with an NGO, we implement it on a local level to actually inspire real change. And another thing that you can do in terms of committees is have committee speakers, so just experts on the issue to drive debate. And generally, quality over quantity applies to both the number of committees and number of delegates. So find the sweet spot, because you don't want to have committees. You don't want to have a lot of committees with a small number of delegates per committee, and you don't want to have few committees with a lot of delegates per committee, where nobody has a really opportunity to speak. So just find that balance between the two. And in terms of topics, because this is really the heart of the debate, as I said, number one, you want to make sure that they're relevant in terms of the place that the conference is taking place, that the conference is being hosted in, and the time period, and also integrate the SDGs into the themes and to the talk and into the issues themselves. And most importantly, make sure that they're solution oriented, so that the debate is meaningful, so that you have issues that aren't superficial, but can really inspire meaningful debate and achieve consensus.
And one of the biggest reasons why people enjoy MUN, and one of the things that will really give you an authentic experience, is the socials. And people want to be able to have fun at your MUN conference, and you want to be able to provide spaces for this kind of interaction and connection between your delegates. This could be in the form of lunch breaks, where you have everyone in one huge cafeteria. There's bound to be some conversations that are started there. It could be in the form of activities such as a social at the end of the day, or a service activity where you're bringing all your delegates together. Or it could be even in the form of lobbying and merging, which is already a natural part of MUN. But basically, you want your chairs to help instigate and fuel collaborative interaction, even within lobbying and merging. You want them to bring people together. So really, once again, it's all within your control, and it's really essential that you focus on creating opportunities for social interaction.
You can also incorporate service elements to really expand your reach and be part of something bigger, and give back to the community. And this starts as simple as fundraising. So just fundraising for a cause or fundraising for an NGO. There are also several service activities that you can implement, and our MUN and our friends at MUN Bilbao have shared with us some initiatives that they have done. For example, they have done a beach cleanup. They have also conducted various SDG awareness campaigns and initiatives. And this is really something that you can do. Another idea that you can potentially implement is the MUN Impact Zone, which we do at EGMUN, but it's inspired by MUN Impact. And this is just something in your conference, so a corner of the campus where you have booths and you invite. So in EGMUN, we're inviting NGOs, given our theme of sustainability, to discuss sustainability. But you don't have to necessarily go along that route. You can also invite NGOs to discuss any other topic, but also invite your school's clubs and activities to spread awareness on what they're doing.
And obviously, we highly encourage that you go to MUN Impact for inspiration. You can check the MUN Impact blog, check the Our Stories section, see what other conferences have been doing, because really MUN is all about creating an impact, a real world impact. So just go there, find some ideas. There's no problem in cheating off of there, because really the whole point of an MUN should be to create a real world impact. So just check out the blog, and you can also check out the partnership section on the website if you want your conference to be a partner. And yes, finally, we have a short video to show you.
So it's really to ignite some, so obviously we've said our own points, but we really want to ignite some ideas and give you guys perspectives from other MUN enthusiasts around the world on how to really make your conference different. So enjoy this video.
In my opinion, what makes an MUN conference unmatched is topics that are not too overdone, are more or less controversial, and are relevant. And also an academic committee or an academic team that is well prepared for the conference and ready to face any issue.
For me, what sets an MUN conference apart is great chairs who ensure that all delegates know the procedure of the debate and ensure a productive debate so that all delegates can have an enjoyable time while learning a lot.
I think what makes an MUN conference amazing and very memorable is the safe space that it creates for people to debate and also get to know each other, and also the food.
The choice of a topic that causes controversial debate is the number one factor that sets an MUN conference from another.
I believe makes a great MUN conference is when debate and forums create an atmosphere that is both intense and constructive. And I think this is done when delegates are both knowledgeable and passionate about the topics, and when chairs are experienced and know how to guide debate well.
In my opinion, what makes a conference a great conference is the friendliness or the atmosphere over there. And this has to be established first throughout the organization team itself, and only then can it be projected onto the delegates, directors,
and all participants in general.
I love MUN conferences that have SDG themes, the ones that have some kind of campaign during the conference to raise awareness or raise funds for a local charity organization or business or foundation. But the most striking and memorable, unique conferences are the ones where delegates walk out and you can hear the buzz, the conversations that occur after the conference for days, weeks, and even months afterwards, where delegates want to solve these global issues. They can't let go of the topics that they become mini experts about, and they create initiatives to solve the global issues within their communities and globally.
So thank you to all our friends for agreeing to participate in this video. And we hope you've enjoyed the insights that they provided. And finally, once again, everything that we said are just some tips and recommendations, kind of a checklist for you. But there's one thing that we want you to take away from this, and that you can apply to anything, not just an MUN conference, is that you need to take ownership of what you do. Put your heart into it. Everything that you do for your conference, every choice that you make, do it with intent. Really think about what you do. And it's this kind of spirit that matters at the end of the day. Everything falls into place afterwards. You want sponsors, you want partners. It's not about a checklist. It's about putting your heart into it and really giving it your all. And that is what will ensure that you have a successful conference at the end of the day. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Here's our contact information. Thank you for all your time and attention and for participating in all these activities. And we have just a few minutes for some questions and answers.
Just before we go into the Q&A session, so if you want to reach out to us, please do so near Amina's emails. And we definitely are willing to help out anyone who is thinking of organizing a conference or who wants us to help in giving them ideas for a current conference. So just please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions as well on this workshop, and make sure to follow EGMON on Instagram as well, and check out our website all on this page.
Okay, we're just gonna take some questions very quickly. No time for you guys to ask them. So someone's asking from Qatar, Arya G asks, how can we participate in this particular MUN? Well, currently, if you'd like to participate, you can check out you can message us, message myself or Abdullah, and we can coordinate this further with you and your school. If you'd like to come as an individual, our conference is probably going to take place next March, but we want to expand this into a bigger partnership with you. So just reach out to us and we'll coordinate this definitely. We're definitely interested in having more participants. Marwan was asking, how do you organize your own conference in a country that you're not currently in, or a place that it will be held in if you've never been there? Abdullah, do you want to take this, or should I take this?
Yeah, I can help out. So EGMON, so in our experience, we're not from El Gouna, which is where the conference is taking place. We actually live in the capital, Cairo, but it's really finding connections in the actual location. So just building connections in that country or place that you want to host. Host the conference, and just having that backup. So in EGMON, we have an organizing committee to help out with the logistics, such as accommodation, transportation, so flights, etc. So just having a team with you to make sure that everything is covered and that you don't take all the burden. But it's really starting out with that, finding the people there that can help you out and make sure that the conference runs smoothly.
Now, Ariana M from Canada is asking, how do you choose a good, unique, and engaging guest speaker for opening ceremonies? Would you suggest a performance or a speaker? Now, we recommend that you include both. You probably have like 2 or 3 days for your conference. You want to include both a performance and a speaker, go ahead. It's this kind of engagement really benefits you, and there are different kinds of people. So someone will enjoy a speaker and someone else will enjoy a performance. And how do you choose a good guest speaker? Is by exploiting all your connections. You want to explore all your options, and we recommend that if you find a video of this person speaking at another event, you can watch that and determine based on that if this person would be suitable for your event or not. You can maybe this is a person that you met at a different event, and you go up to them and you ask them, okay, can you come speak at my event as well? So really, it's up to your judgment and up to your research and what you think suits your conference best.
And I think the last question we have is from Ilyas. So he asks, what conference that you have attended was the most unique, and what was unique about it? So me and Ameena can both answer this. I'll answer first. So it's actually Ameena's conference where she graduated, but it was high MUN. And the reason that it made it unique for me was because I was part of the I was part of the leadership team there, but and although I was one of 3 people that were not from the school part of the leadership team. I really felt the sense of community and the sense that it's a team effort and not just individuals running a conference and focusing on their own. So where there were community building activities, it really felt like a sense of community and a team effort in terms of the praise, in terms of how everyone supported one another. So to me, that was the most unique aspect of that conference that made it really enjoyable for me. So Ameena can give her own opinion.
No, I definitely agree. I think MUN is a great conference, and we don't really have much time for this. But finally, thank you everyone for your time and attention, and we hope you learned something from this, something that you can apply to your own conferences. And if you want to contact us, if you have an opportunity for us, or if you want to create your own conference and want our opinion or just our advice, then please go ahead. Our social media and emails are here. Thank you. I guess that's it.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, I'd like to thank Ameena and Abdullah for their great presentation, full of enthusiasm. Ameena, you need to slow down though sometimes, you get carried away. So I hope you can all take something away from this session. It was very interesting and informative. This was it. This was the last session. Oh no, you've got a social event. This was the last session for me. I can go and relax. You guys go and have fun in the social room. I hope you've enjoyed these 3 days. I hope you're glad you signed up, and follow MUN Impact on social media. Follow our webpage, sign up for the monthly newsletter, and come back in October for some more. Bye everyone.
Bye. See you guys at the help desk or social hour.